financial news. Apple stock is down after an earnings and revenue report that disappointed. That despite the high-tech company indicating that it has high hopes for the holiday shopping period. That was kind of lost in the sauce here, but it follows other big retailers staffing up and ramping up for what they think will be a busy holiday shopping season. Amazon, first and foremost, with better than 100,000 planned holiday hires. Charles Payne and Scott Martin on that. Charles, what do you make of that portion of what Apple was saying? All right, the rearview mirror stuff, not so great. Forward-looking, much better.
Well, it sort of dovetails with a lot of anecdotal things from what the Federal Reserve has told us, from what data would suggest in terms of people's wages going up. Today we saw retail inventories, $607 billion worth of inventory, up 4%. It's so far in the earnings period, consumer discretionary absolutely killing everyone else. Top line growth up almost 9%. You got Target on the screen there. Target's going to run an 8-minute special on ABC, a musical, if you will, to kick this off. So if it's not going to be a good one, I can tell you right now, retailers are going for broke.
A retailer is doing an 8-minute, is it an 8-minute commercial or is
it's an 8-minute musical commercial. It's going to have John Legend and his wife, and it's you know, again, they're thinking this might be the holiday season, the Christmas season, that gets them over the top.
Interesting. Scott, what do you think of all of this? Because obviously people in the know, you don't hire this number of people or commit this amount of attention and cash unless you're very confident you're going to get it back and then some.
That's true. The musical sounds great, so count me in. I will tell you, though, you know, you look at
they couldn't make an extravaganza big enough to make me want to shop. You know what I'm saying?
John Legend and his wife, Chrissy Teigen, just might make me show up for that thing.
Yeah.
But I will tell you what, if you look at a lot of the research out there, as well as what Charles cited there, in our own research here at Kingsview, I'll tell you, Neil, it looks like retail sales, at least over the holiday season, which now, by the way, starts before Halloween or just on Halloween, you're looking at those to rise in the high single digits. So that's actually a good number for a lot of these retailers, because the last few years we've seen low single digit growth. So I think that's the reason not only are they making good comments about the outlook, but also hiring the workers to maybe supply some of the staff to fulfill those orders.
You know, I don't know what makes this holiday season, this Christmas, different than prior ones where there was a great deal of skittishness going into them. What is it, Charles?
Again, I think if you look at the amount of jobs that are out there, the wage pressure that's been on this country, you're right, Neil. I think, though, that people are finally seeing some wage growth. I mean, obviously, if you compare it to where we were 7, 10, 20 years ago, but we're finally seeing that needle move. And there's one little secret out there we don't talk about a lot. Consumer discretionary cash as a percentage of what they bring home, you know, is near an all-time high. It's a consequence of people having paid off those credit cards, losing their homes. It's all because of negative things, but people actually have more money after they cash their checks than they had in a long time. They have been reluctant to spend it. Experts keep guessing that this is the time.
You know, Scott, would any of this be affected by the presidential race or how it turns out, or is that not really an issue?
I think it's one of those things where there could be a shock. I mean, if Donald Trump pulls this off, I think for a couple weeks you may see the consumer hunker down. But as we've seen, when there's been weather events, when there's been other exogenous occurrences, the consumer may pull back, but all that does is pent-up demand. It makes demand stronger for the future. So to me, if there's a surprise in the election, that won't last very long. Also, if you're looking for a job this holiday season, they're out there. They're not traditionally where they used to be, though. They're not in the big box retailer stores. They're in the warehouse distribution centers, logistics centers. Those are where, because of the online shopping that's going crazy over the holidays, those are where you're going to find the jobs, not in the big box retailer stores.
Charles, real quickly on this Target 8-minute commercial, will it involve dancing processed meats and cheeses?
I think all of the above, and I think there's also going to be a Garth Brooks CD, 10 CD box set that might be the thing that gets you over the top, Neil.
Really?
That Garth Brooks thing.
I don't know. Maybe the processed meats and cheeses, but I mean, I don't know.
I'll
Relax,
take the cheeses.
America. I know I'm eating healthy. But, all right, guys, thank you both very, very much. I appreciate it.